door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. How come so many doors in your house are locked and stuck shut? What the fuck? What the hell, dude? You need to get this house checked out. I had found the last missing piece from my wallet. Old photo of Rachel, and it stared back at me, reminding me of the better times. Didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyways? No, fuck that bitch. There was no reason to hold on to old memories. I had my license and credit card back. That was enough. Our television, I purchased it. I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards. But by then it was too late. You know, I've bought shit and then felt guilty about it afterwards, and the way I look at it is, hey, I already did it. Whatever. I've done that a lot. Like with games that I probably shouldn't have spent money at. I'm like, oh well, I bought it, you know, too damn late, right? Damn, I wish I could have searched more in those areas that I wanted to go back to and couldn't. Because I bet there was a lot there. I just figured I'll go back. I didn't think it was going to stop me. Uh-oh. Our hallway mirror had been smashed. Pieces shattered around the floor. Couldn't really make myself out anymore. Wasn't sure I wanted to. My laptop had been left on. Only a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key on top of the drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Pocketed the key. That's the damn key to the basement, ain't it? Sink which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house our home. Don't you need to sit on the toilet, dude? God, I can't wait till Bloodborne. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in the house had some of the same books as I did. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting here on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Inside the suitcase were a few days' worth of clothes, some personal effects, and a train ticket. As I stared at the ticket, I couldn't feel myself flush with anger and resentment. The date and time matched the ticket that I had found, the receipt that I had found. Rachel, why? Were you going to run away with Norman? Was I really such a monster? She's dead in the basement. That's where we're going right now. We're getting to the bottom of this shit. I found the key. Unlocked the basement door. And there was Rachel dead on the floor, and it rhymed with door. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. I couldn't even remember our last Christmas. Garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take it? Yeah. Took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. There were old clothes, tools, things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. We had way too much junk. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and drywall was poorly installed. Might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. You serious? Slam your freaking shoulder into it, dude. I need something heavy. Can't walk out. Table was clean. What am I missing? Didn't I have a hammer? I mean, but Jesus. Front door was locked. Wait, hold on. Did I see? No. Sorry. Oh, looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? Yeah, you did when you were blacked out, douche. There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take it? Yes. Lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Alright, well, we know what to do with that. Can't believe I missed a room. I thought I was so thorough. Alright. Let's go find a dead body on the other side. What a heave. I swung the crowbar at the wall, smashed a large hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? Damn. Oh, don't look. Oh, God. The sound is getting louder in my ear. Blood. Don't look. Filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful. Made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all the searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, what did I finally... Did I finally find my Rachel? Oh, it's asking me, did I find Rachel? No. I'd said no on it, since it asked me. The rags were wet, matted, covered in dirt and grime, but inside the tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what to do next. If she wasn't there, where was she? What had she been searching for this entire time? I remembered the look on Rachel's face when I came home, didn't I? Then the awful realization hit me right in the gut. I had been looking at this the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there. I won't find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? I stumbled back upstairs, the pain in my leg just a dull ache now, and sat down on my bedroom. My mind was spinning, and the ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight exhaustion, and as I tried to grab a hold of something that would make sense of all of this, I must have drifted off. So it's still so confusing. I'm not trying to give up. I hit the start button, so it's saying that. I just wanted to pause it. It's still confusing. It asked me if I saw Rachel there or not, so I said no. I'm kind of in high hopes that it'll let me go back and search that train station, you know, the areas that I wanted to search, but I moved forward, that now I know I'm going to have to replay the whole game to go back and see. So let's see what happens. My head was pounding. It was my wallet within its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at all those places before? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, he's finding out that he's going psycho. I didn't see how it had come and how it happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? There, that was decided. That means you did all of this, you crazy psycho. I could see, in the shards of that broken mirror, I could see my face, gaunt now, hollow and sickly, and immensely troubled. What other illusions had I dreamed up? What other truths were waiting to be exposed? In the dirty, faded glass, I looked like nothing more than a faint shadow. There was only one set of toiletries by the sink. I used to tell myself that Rachel was the one who wanted to keep the tub. When was the last time I showered? I smelled awful. Dude, there's no time for that right now. God. There was only one set of toiletries by the sink. Yeah, you said that. Well, Rachel was packing her shit to leave, remember? If there is a Rachel. It was the key card I found at the bottom of the factory locker. I never did bother to use it. Someone had been going through those lockers and poking around the plant. Still, it didn't quite add up. Was I the one who had been going back to the factory? I'm going to say yes. It looked that way, didn't it? That locker room. I had given up drinking, but I had made up my mind. Laptop finally ran out of power. How long had it been left running? So I'm starting to tell him that it's him, you know. Rachel is actually me. He's like, hello, Clarice. And he's got his junk packed between his legs. Puts the lotion on the skin. It was the letter I'd taken from the post box. It had gotten a bit wet in the rain. But who wrote the letter then? Who was Norman seeing? Oh no, Norman. If I was wrong about Rachel, then what about him? Did I do that horrible thing to him? I'm gonna say yes. I must have, but why? Did we fight, or was I tricked into thinking he was sneaking around with Rachel? What was happening to me? The more I thought of Norman, the worse I started to feel. I had that old TV for so long, I don't even know if I could ever replace it. It was a piece of junk, but I couldn't even afford anything newer. Yeah, so I'm telling him, you know, since it's asking me, I'm telling him, yeah, dude, this was you crazy fuck. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. I used a digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I'd left it somewhere. 8 names written alongside those odd marks in different colors were printed in the notebook. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose. I recalled the names as I saw scratched out in the old desk, deep within those musty tunnels. Was the man in the house really up to something? How did he end up dead? When I came to, he was already on the floor. This is creepy stuff, isn't it? It seemed like I'd seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. It's gonna ask me again if she was there. Let's do it. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to take a last look. It's gonna ask me if she was there, and I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? Kept it firmly in my hand. If I wanted to end it, I could do it. I could do it with that gun. Did I pick it up again? It was like carrying an anvil, but I wouldn't let it go. Not again. Was that a GG? Or is that a 9-9? The wall was cracked and pitted. I was told by the inspector in the basement had been partially filled before I bought the house. But by the look of the wall, I was going to need to fix the foundation. Everything smelled musty and old down there. Oh no, it's not letting me go back in there. It's not letting me go back in there. I was going to go in there and I figured it was going to ask me if she was there and I was going to say yes. Alright, so maybe that's a 9-9, not a GG. Hold on a sec. I sat at the table and stared at the gun in my hand. It didn't seem so heavy this time. You showed me the truth. I wasn't sure there was any reason to keep going. So what do you think? Shouldn't I just end this misery? No, not yet. If you say no, or if you say so. Dude, he wants to kill himself. Do you think I should? Put him out of his misery? By the looks at it, I hadn't collected the mail in over a week. But did I leave and say goodbye to the nightmare forever? Looked again at the knife and gun I carried. Might have been able to use one of those instead. Dude, so there's like lots of choices. Probably multiple endings. I didn't mean to go back. Hold on. Let's go up. I want to see if that 9-9, if it was a 9-9 or a GG. Alright, just checking. Alright, so do I need to kill myself or do I need to walk out the front door and see if there's more game? Kind of want to walk out the front door and see if there's more to come or if that's all. But I am going to have to play it again sometime. That was it with Rachel gone. I couldn't stand to be in the house a moment longer. But I had the gun again. And that knife. This wasn't the only way to end this, I knew. But did I leave and say goodbye to that nightmare forever? Alright, I'm walking away. Since I had arrived in town, things had been difficult. Working in the plant, though, had been good for me. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Drinking was probably just a way to deal with that. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain at its own game. Things stopped making sense after some time, or sometime after that. My memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. This night had been worst of my entire life. Had been the worst of my entire life. Would it have even been possible to bounce back from everything that had happened, everything I'd seen? You know, in a way, I almost wish I hadn't even woke up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. For starters, the man I had found in the old place, who had killed him? And why was I even there? After making it out of those tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people. But who was it that attacked? And what had I been doing at Norman's place or even in that old forest? It didn't look good, that's for sure. Had I been responsible for what had happened in there? What did you think? Was I guilty, or was I just mad? That forest, though, was no escape either. That notebook especially left me troubled. I remember seeing a similar list on that desk back in the tunnels. Who were the girls mentioned in there? I suspect there was more to those woods than I knew, and I had no intention of going back. So it was probably obvious for both of us now that I was the one going through those lockers and making a mess of the old factory. But what the hell was I doing there? I supposed it could have just been another episode, but I didn't understand. Was it really me drinking in that boarded up room? What had I become? What more is there that you're not telling me? I had to catch my breath to take it all in at each point until the factory. Things had only gotten worse. But then going to Norman's store, that's where the confusion and doubt started to set in. That's when my perspective on all of this really started to change. Norman, you bastard! I'd killed you. And it was clear to me now why. You had taken Rachel from me. You were going to take her away altogether. In the end, you got what you deserved. But as painful as all of that was, oh no, I couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I had seen and done, finally coming home was supposed to be the end to this entire ordeal. I had no idea, though, that it was the beginning. When I had first stepped through that kitchen door, the silence had been unnerving. But to think that I went through all of that completely unaware of what I would discover. Had I killed Norman thinking that he and, well, there was something going on. Everything that I held dear and true was now spinning around me. I had nothing to ground me, nothing to give me purpose or even the faintest hope of reason. Without Rachel, without what I thought I was Rachel, I was lost forever. I hear something. Oh, that's creepy. As the door swung open, I could smell damp grass and the closeness of the air. After everything, it felt like I had more questions than answers. You made me see the truth, I'll give you that. But now I was completely lost. You took away the only thing that had kept me going. I was sure word would get out, and soon enough the police would come looking for me. And what then? Would you be there to show me the way? What will I do then? Yeah. Sounded like I've read for the first time in years, didn't it? So I thought that was a really cool game. I really enjoyed that game, and I am definitely going to play it again. Most likely off camera, unless you guys ask me to play it again. But I don't see that I need to push you guys through all that again. I did really enjoy it though. I thought it was cool. That'll probably only be a 2-video freaking game, because it was only an hour and 23 minutes of gameplay. It was $1 when I got it. I don't know how much it is now. I got it when it was on sale for $1. Okay. Shadow says it's $5.